Hey everyone, it's really nice to see you all. Arab here. I'm currently at Apple Park in Cupertino, Silicon Valley. In about an hour, WWDC25 is set to kick off. Not only myself, but many other YouTubers are here, so you'll get to see them soon. Since this is a developer conference, there will be a lot of operating system update-related content. We're going to quickly summarize how Apple Intelligence and the operating system updates for each of the devices will be, and what parts are really exciting and new. So, let's go ahead and get started. Every year around this time, Apple's WWDC event is held as a closed gathering for developers, YouTubers like myself, and journalists too. Only those who've received an invitation are able to attend. And following the keynote presentation, we'll have the opportunity to experience a variety of technology and also get briefings at certain research. Therefore, after we quickly summarize the keynote, I will ensure that I can deliver the other information to you as well. It is my very first time attending here this year, but there are many people who come back every single year. Let's take a moment to hear from a couple of those individuals you're all very familiar with and find out what their thoughts and predictions are for this event.
Hello, Android engineering subscribers. I'm Editor H from The Edit. All right, everyone. We are currently live here at the venue for Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference, also known as WWDC25. Well, when I was asked what I'm looking forward to today, there's actually a rumor circulating that a brand new user interface will be unveiled. So, given that Apple has maintained a flat design recently, I'm quite curious to see any UI changes. And since Apple hasn't been particularly strong in AI lately, I'm really hoping for some significant wow factors this time around.
Hello there. Oh, you come here so frequently each and every year. What is it you're looking forward to the most this year?
This year, honestly, it truly feels like we've reached a certain limit in terms of what new hardware can actually demonstrate or show us that's genuinely different and innovative. So perhaps that's why, but when the operating system changes, it feels like I've acquired a new phone. So I'm always excited to see the new OS announcements at WWDC, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much better things will get. This time, iOS 19 was originally supposed to come out, but I've heard talk they might skip ahead to 26 this time, so I'll be keeping a close eye on those things.
Please show a lot of love for Gajan Jubil. Thank you. There are so many little things in this operating system announcement, you know. While we can't cover absolutely everything in this particular video, to really help you grasp the core concepts, the two most significant points are, firstly, the completely integrated design, which is referred to as liquid glass. iOS, iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, tvOS, visionOS. They all feature the exact same look and a completely new design, unlike anything we've seen previously. I'll go over this particular aspect initially, and then I plan to discuss how Apple Intelligence has been further developed and expanded. Following that, I'll be highlighting some truly fascinating aspects from each operating system and sharing them with all of you. Starting today, you can test it through the Apple Developer Program, and the general public beta version will be made available sometime next month. The official release is scheduled for this fall as a complimentary software update. Therefore, I'll begin by outlining these two principal aspects, keeping them in consideration, and subsequently analyze the modifications for each operating system. Finally, I will impart my individual perspectives on the ultimate meaning of these changes. Before we watch the keynote video, Tim Cook and Craig came out on stage and were greeted with a lot of enthusiastic cheers from the crowd. Looking at the first thing they talked about, it was the overall changes to the operating system, specifically the first feature, liquid glass. These liquid glass design changes can actually be viewed as being just a simple visual alteration. However, considering that Apple has such a wide variety of operating, it's a very significant undertaking to change all of them to the same design format, because they utilize distinct operating systems that employ entirely different hardware. Basically, it's presented as a UI/UX that gives the interface a bit more liveliness and a more interactive feel. First, as you can see, it's somewhat translucent, but it also responds. It's a visual expression technique that applies a slight refraction effect depending on the surrounding environment, and dynamically transforms 3D effects and mirror reflection effects according to the user's movements. Honestly, they really don't have to do this. They could just not do it at all. Or things like app icons or widgets or the control center and, you know, the navigation bar. All of these things are applied, and it not only recognizes whether the outside environment is bright or dark, but also provides a truly interactive experience. It's not just playing animation, it's generating them based on the information from the outside environment. It actually has to render in real time by receiving the current information. So, rather than obscuring things like maps or similar elements, it actually allows everything to be fully visible. This liquid glass technology necessitates that the graphical effects dynamically adapt and change in real time, responding directly to the user's physical movements or the specific background image currently displayed on their phone or the device itself. Therefore, it requires computing capabilities that can redraw something new each and every moment, rather than simply playing pre-rendered animation. So, Developers are required to ensure that iPhones, Apple Watches, iPad OS, and other devices operate seamlessly without any stuttering or lagging issue. This is precisely why tvOS 26 offers support for this feature exclusively on high-end models, as inadequate processor performance could lead to noticeable performance degradation and visual choppy. So, if the first significant change is this integrated design, then the second one is indeed the expansion of Apple Intelligence. First off, visual intelligence, which allows for visual recognition and instant searching, has been added to the Apple operating system. Real-time live translation is also available. Additionally, there are other features like Zenmoji, which allows combining emojis and image playground. I sincerely hope these features become widely available in Korea very soon. Looking at the overall presentation, it seems like these features will expand to many countries, especially with the shortcut feature. You know, the shortcut. This feature has become quite active, allowing for a broader perspective, which was really impressive. Now, Apple Intelligence has been available previously, and they are still consistently emphasizing how much they prioritize user privacy. Now, regarding private computing, user information does indeed go up to the server. However, if those things require a large-scale model, then they would have to be run on the server, wouldn't they? Even in such cases, Apple supports private cloud computing in a way that guarantees privacy, ensuring that they cannot access the data whatsoever, even when it is processed on their servers. They process what's possible directly on the device itself and utilize private cloud computing for other operations, so users don't need to be concerned about their personal information being stored separately by Apple. This is truly the area they are emphasizing and pushing forward the most. Actually, from an engineer's perspective, employing a hybrid AI model for making real-time decisions is quite efficient. Simple commands can just be executed on the iPhone or device, and more complex ones are automatically connected to the secure server via private cloud. To accomplish this, it can instantly determine, oh, this particular command can be processed in just a fraction of a second. It appears Apple's objective is to effectively manage aspects such as data privacy and network status, ensuring that users remain unaware of precisely where the AI processing is occurring, whether it is executed directly on the device or handled remotely. We actually run things on servers and on device, but for the user, we aim to provide a seamless, unified experience, so they don't have to differentiate between the two. That's the key difference in the overall user experience. So, it's all about this integrated design approach and the notable expansion of Apple Intelligence. With these two key points in mind, let's delve into some of the distinctive features of each operating system. First, I'll tell you something fun. It's about Vision Pro. Those who have actually used the Vision Pro, they know it's truly amazing. Even when you use it, you get incredibly immersed. It doesn't feel like a virtual world at all. Things are just floating around in the real world. Displays and other elements are floating, and now with what they're calling spatial widgets, Vision OS is going to be updated to allow placement right there in the user's actual physical space. As you can see, this is what's called spatial computing. It means you can place the widgets you want within the space you're using, just like you would on an iPhone. For example, you could hang this widget on the wall or simply place it wherever you desire. Then, when you move around and come back, that widget will still be right there. You can actually use the space itself as your very own resource. And it seems they've improved the overall experience, enabling better sharing of spatial environments and a clearer understanding of animations and elements within that shared space when viewed together, thus increasing the immersive aspect. Especially with Vision Pro, the most groundbreaking feature was this persona. When you wear it, you cannot see the person's face. But now, they've made it so much more realistic when it regenerates the face. People were amazed when it first came out. Wow, it appears so lifelike now, as though there's a genuine person right in front of you, which truly enhances the overall experience. And then, there were cheers again when Vision OS 26 announced support for the PlayStation VR2 Sense controller, which is pretty cool. You're able to use it to play games with the controller, and people were incredibly excited about that particular feature. Oh, and this was something really quite innovative and fascinating. It appears to be an accessory pencil from Logitech that actually allows you to draw directly within a three-dimensional spatial environment. This really made me feel like the way we actually work could fundamentally change, you know? And next, let's discuss the iPhone. Regarding iOS 26, liquid glass is now implemented everywhere, and a dynamic lock screen is created. Witnessing the lock screen appear in 3D was quite remarkable. They mentioned that this feature would also be supported in the Photos app, potentially allowing for dynamic interactions and animations, particularly when it's integrated with Apple Music, enabling the creation of such animation. Honestly, there really haven't been many truly shocking updates for iPadOS in the past, but people are genuinely thrilled about the recent iPadOS update, specifically because it finally supports window resizing, which is a big deal. You just pinch to make it smaller, unlike before where apps would just open in full screen. But now, you can open multiple windows and use them simultaneously. You can see that this reflects the philosophy that the iPad, with its large display, should be utilized in this way. The reason people are so excited is that many users now attach a keyboard to their iPad. Next to me, Gadget Mom also worked on her iPad instead of bringing her MacBook, and she felt like the possibility of replacing a MacBook had finally arrived with this kind of interface support. From an operating system perspective, it's essentially like integrating a Windows system into a touch-based operating system. Originally, this concept was designed for use with a mouse and a keyboard, but the fact that it now also works with touch really makes you wonder if we might see a touch-enabled MacBook released sometime in the future. This kind of expectation is certainly building up. And then, the new macOS Tahoe was introduced. It seems it was released with animations that really evoke the familiar feeling of Tahoe Lake, the Tahoe Lake. Here again, they provided that transparent menu bar with liquid glass, and we saw support for a variety of apps that integrate iPhone features with the Mac. What I found particularly impressive is actually this Spotlight update. Now, anyone who uses macOS knows that when you search for something, you usually use Spotlight. But now, it acts like an agent, integrating with AI, allowing it to do significantly more. For example, now, when you search, all the results such as files, folders, events, apps, or messages are displayed together in a single unified list, and it intelligently orders them based on what you often search for or what you find most relevant, displaying them in a suitable sequence. It can even show you what kind of content is contained within the file. Also, there are new filtering options available to help you more precisely locate things like PDFs or email messages, making Spotlight search even more functional and useful. You can utilize Spotlight to quickly send email, fill in who you're sending it to, and write the subject, all without needing to open the mail application. They are aiming to let you do everything from there without having to go through multiple steps or opening up apps one by one, so you can get things done very quickly. I think that this is probably the most significant update to macOS. This is all made possible through Apple Intelligence, which assists in optimizing search, leading to improved and more relevant results. Furthermore, it seems that Apple is focusing on integrating the shortcut feature, allowing users to swiftly and easily access their preferred customized functions directly from within Spotlight. It seems that currently, for the things that agents and AI cannot fully handle, this Spotlight feature will be able to provide integrated support. These particular features, they're designed to utilize on-device AI or private cloud computing, which helps to protect your personal privacy while still fully supporting all the capabilities of Apple Intelligence. So you can see that these are reflecting Apple's commitment to enhancing features they already well supported, which are being incorporated into the operating. Additionally, Apple is continuously upgrading its gaming capability. They've released MetalFX, which is a graphics processing and machine learning technology specifically designed for Apple Silicon. It incorporates MetalFX frame boosting technology, which essentially fills in frames between existing ones to increase the frame rate, allowing for smoother performance. It also supports real-time ray tracing, enabling realistic shadow effects and other visual enhancements. It appears they're consistently working to incorporate these enhancements, and the number of Apple-supported games has significantly increased. They are stating that games like Crimson Desert, Enjoy, and Cyberpunk 2077 are all going to be supported by MetalFX and ray tracing technology. Next, with watchOS, it's really interesting. When combined with Apple Intelligence, it can tell you things like how long you've been running and how far you are from your goal, and so on. It also offers encouragement and engages in conversation, featuring a new Apple Intelligence-powered tool called Workout Buddy, specifically designed to help motivate you. These kinds of features are increasing with AI interaction, helping you stay motivated. Additionally, you can manage notifications with a wrist twist gesture, and there are new features for things you want to check out later. Furthermore, with Apple Intelligence now integrated, it's capable of formulating appropriate replies when you're responding to messages, and it seems to offer extensive support for the Korean language, which is something that really stands out to me. So, Liquid Glass is now supported on tvOS, but as I was saying earlier, it's only available on Apple TV 4K and above. It appears that the processor with 4K capabilities is what enables these translucent effects to work properly. For me, the most impressive thing is that it turns into a karaoke machine. What do I mean by that? If you have an iPhone, you can open the music app and essentially use your iPhone as a portable microphone, outputting your voice through the TV to create a karaoke effect, which is pretty cool. I really like going to karaoke too, so being able to sing like that would be absolutely wonderful. Oh look, Bitchin from Omokyo Electronics Market is right here. We watched the WWDC keynote together, didn't we? So what were your thoughts on it?
I was a bit disappointed that there wasn't much about AI, but other than that, I thought the concept was really cool. It seems like Apple has made quite a few significant graphic updates that only they could really achieve, and speaking personally, I was somewhat anticipating the possibility of something like Apple Glass making an appearance. Well, all these designs are completely translucent, aren't they? Even though this kind of user interface and user experience usually consumes a significant amount of graphic resource, they implemented this design likely to display something behind the lenses, hence the use of this translucent user interface experience.
Wow, that's great.
If you consider it from that perspective, I think we'll be seeing products quite similar to Apple Glass appearing in the very near future.
Can you see the goosebumps I'm getting right now? Truly. Haha. That's how you view it then.
Because Apple tends to subtly prepare users, almost like a gentle preconditioning, so that when the glass is released, they'll think, oh, the UI and UX are exactly what I'm already familiar with. And that should make it incredibly simple to use, don't you think?
You're certainly not your average person.
So maybe that's why they did it that way.
What do you think about the Vision OS update?
With the Vision OS update, I think Apple really demonstrated a surprisingly open-minded approach.
Oh.
They were originally planning to rely solely on hand and eye gestures, but now they're introducing accessories.
Yeah, Logitech.
Logitech accessories are included, but MetaQuest isn't. Apple's showing their typical stance of not acknowledging their competitors. But it's disappointing that Vision Intelligence isn't included in Vision OS this time. So, other companies like MetaQuest are integrating with ChatGPT, where you can ask, what is this, through the camera. They have a lot of AI features that answer through the camera, but Apple, maybe due to privacy concerns, doesn't have that feature yet. I'm not sure if it's because of privacy, or if they want to do something different.
Let's take a closer look together then. Yes, we can look into that. Thank you for the interview. Thank you. This is Jung Han from Bangwoo Self Reviewer.
Oh, hello.
Yes, say hi to the Onto Engineering subscriber.
Hello, I'm from Banggood's Review Room. I run a channel for Apple content.
You're quite famous for a long time, so how do you feel about today's announcement?
It seems Apple prepared the content with a strong focus on improving the user experience and usability across their devices.
I felt similarly.
Yeah.
I make content too, but please watch Banggood's Review Room's videos. They are good.
Oh, subscribe and like.
Please be sure to subscribe and also like. Thank you very much. Sorry for the sudden interview. From a tech perspective, I've considered the core significance of WWDC 2025. Apple's philosophy always has this very hot aspect to it. It's a strong intent to unify all devices into one seamless experience. They truly have a powerful commitment to that. It's about showcasing the completion of integration across various technical aspects, both hardware and software, and within the software realm, encompassing the operating system and the diverse applications built upon it. The liquid glass design itself can be seen as more than just a simple visual alteration. Ultimately, it signifies the ability to unify everything, starting from the foundational operating system layer all the way up to the development tools and frameworks. It demonstrates that we possess the capability to achieve this comprehensive integration. I felt they were really displaying a certain engineering optimization confidence that they could sufficiently handle everything, you know? So now, no matter which device or development approach is taken, the user experience can essentially reach a nearly identical level across the board. Especially when it comes to Apple Intelligence, they've truly demonstrated that their AI is the most reliable, highlighting that privacy is not merely a marketing strategy, but has been established as the utmost priority in their system's design, which is an incredibly noteworthy point. So, whether it's on-device or utilizing a hybrid structure that involves moving data back and forth between a server cloud and a secure cloud, as was announced previously, their intention is to ensure that users scarcely perceive any distinction whatsoever. I genuinely commend their steadfast commitment to rendering the user experience utterly seamless and effortless. So, instead of presenting the most powerful AI right away, it's more like they've given us a very intelligent and secure personal assistant. And now, with mobile, desktop, and even vision, they've essentially crafted an operating system platform that completely shatters the traditional distinctions between various device types. It's genuinely a fully integrated and unified platform, effectively redefining what an operating system fundamentally is. With iPadOS now possessing the capability to launch Windows and seamlessly connect with both MacBook and Vision OS. Now moving into personal devices, they're aiming for the pinnacle of spatial computing collaboration. I think this foundation was laid out with the announcement of the operating system integration. Alright, the keynote has now concluded, so we have summarized it for you. We will also be looking into the remaining sessions and bringing you content that we think you will find quite interesting. The Edit, Gajon Jubu, Omokyo Electronics Market, and Banggood Seok Review Room channels will also be sharing their perspectives on this, so please stay tuned for that. This was Error from Apple Park.